Hello, this video is going to go over how to write a visual response for a film. If you haven't watched this clip yet, that's right here below. It's a short montage from the film Up. Make sure you watch that first, and then you can come back to this instructional video. Okay, so what is a montage? So a montage is an edited sequence that elicits a strong emotional response. This can be done with photos or moving sequences, and there's usually at least one in most movies. There's often not much dialogue or speaking, but that doesn't always have to be true. A lot of times these are used to cover either a lot of time and kind of give a background to why characters are the way they are, or sometimes it's just to move the story forward a bunch of years. So montages are often used just to help give a little bit of background or a little bit of understanding of the setting and or characters. So the visual response, okay? So the first part of a visual response is we're going to be given a topic question. So this is something we're used to now. So the topic question that we have here that is going to be the same as your topic question for your assignment is, how does the text creator use cinematic techniques to create connection with the audience? So whenever we get a topic question, we always want to have a look at what the keywords are first. So the keywords here are cinematic techniques, the word connection, and the word audience. The next thing you want to do is look up definitions or synonyms of those words, just to make sure you have a clear understanding of what the topic question is. So cinematic techniques, those include things like camera shots, lighting, music, special effects, and color. If you don't remember what these are, just refer back to lesson 1 and give yourself a bit of a refresher. The next word is connection. So that's talking about relationships, associations, bonds. An audience are the viewers, the listeners, and the public. So want to make sure we understand all those words in that topic question, just to make sure that we understand what we're trying to write about. Once we understand the question, then we're going to start to think about what we think the answer to the topic question is. So in this case, maybe we're deciding which emotion this montage creates for the audience. Or maybe we're deciding how the specific techniques are allowing us to connect with a specific character or connect with a specific conflict. You have to decide what it is that the audience is connecting with by using cinematic techniques. On the flip side, you could also argue how the techniques were not effective. This is a little bit more difficult to do, but it is an option. So for this example, for Up, we're going to talk about how cinematic techniques are effective and that they allow the audience to see how in love Carl and Ellie are. The 3 separate cinematic techniques that are being used in this clip that I'm going to be talking about are medium shots, music, and lighting. And then you want to think about how are you going to talk about how those elements are affecting the audience. And so I might talk about how all 3 examples show how connected and supportive these 2 are of one another and how that really connects with the audience. So when it gets down to paragraph structure, this is some similar information to what we've learned previously in the course. What we want to start with is a topic sentence. So what is your answer to the topic question? What are you trying to prove about the topic in this paragraph? And you want to make sure you include the tag in this sentence or in the sentence afterwards. However, if you can get them all together, that would be great. For the author, because we're dealing with a film, you're going to be talking about or using the director. So an example here is, in the montage at the beginning of Up, directed by Peter Docter, cinematic techniques are used to help the audience feel and understand the deep connection that Carl and Ellie have for one another. So I'm clearly going to be talking about how the cinematic techniques are just allowing the audience to see how much they love one another. So the next thing I want to do is provide a specific piece of evidence. So I'm going to talk about the medium shot first. So my sentence will look something like this. The first cinematic technique that is used is the medium shot. For example, when they are on their picnics on the hill. So I'm giving the scene and I'm giving the technique. What I want to do next is analyze or connect this piece of evidence to what I'm arguing in my topic sentence. I want to explain how this element is connected to the argument I'm making. So what I'm going to say is, these shots allow the viewers to see the facial expressions and hand gestures of the characters and how in sync they are with their thoughts and feelings. This is especially true when they both get excited about planning to expand their family. Audiences can feel their excitement and see how truly happy they are. So I'm connecting with the audience and I'm connecting with how in love these 2 are. Then I'm going to provide a second piece of evidence. So another element that is used successfully is lighting. The bright yellow lighting in the nursery implies how happy they both are about their new family. However, it quickly moves to another scene in a doctor's office with low lighting and shadows. And again, I'm going to have to explain how this is connected to my argument. So in both of these, the characters are feeling the same thing and the audience along with it. The audience can feel both their joy and then their sorrow about not being able to have a family. And I see here, maybe I still need to connect with the love piece that seems to be absent here. So I might start talking about how even in grief, these two are still very in love with each other. So that might be something I want to add here. The last piece of evidence I'm going to talk about is music. So the last element that is used effectively is music. It brings the audience along with how Carl and Ellie are feeling about their lives together. And then I'm going to analyze that. I say this is especially true at the end. The music is so sad and depressing that the audience can deeply feel Carl's sadness over losing his wife. It is clear how much he loves her. It is also something that many audiences can relate to. So I'm really making sure that each piece of evidence is coming back to that topic sentence. Then our concluding sentence, you're going to restate your argument in a new way. You're going to tell me or tell the reader what you just proved. So for example, I have all three of these elements help the audience to understand and connect with Carl and Ellie's special relationship. So altogether, it's going to look something like this. If we go and have a quick look at the actual assignment, you'll see some things that you want to have there. We have a quick look here. So major assignment number 4. All right, your topic question is there. This is the scene that you will be talking about, okay? All of the information we just talked about is here. Some tips for success. This is a formal paragraph, so no personal pronouns. Instead, use third person like individuals, one, and people. Try not to use words like we, us, I think. We're trying to be a little bit more formal. And make sure you're not just summarizing the movie. Be specific in your evidence and take your time with the analysis. And then there's obviously some things here that you'll want to go through once you're finished writing to get through a bit of a checklist. One of them being that you want to make sure that you have a title. So at the very bottom here, you want to make sure you have a title. So the title for my paragraph was True Love. So whatever you think might work for your paragraph. If you have any questions about this assignment or what you're being asked to do, please reach out to your instructor. Also, make sure you use the planning tool. That's really going to help you get on the right track.